It's 11:11. Make a wish.
Hi, welcome back to our fourth and final installment of our interview with Megan, our patient advocate that we met with while Luna was here in Baltimore. I'm actually in Ocean City right now, and we have some exciting things coming up. Next month, we will be at the Ehlers-Danlos Conference in Philly. Look for more information on that. And in 2 weeks, we will bring our third and final installment of our men's panel. And then by then, we'll have some updates on when we'll have some more episodes ready for you, in addition to how we're going to celebrate our second birthday, which is coming up next month also. And with that, let's get back to our interview with Megan. I will let you know that as what seems to happen with me happened when I was closing out this last episode. Apparently, we lost connectivity and we just noped out of the call and left Tiffany hanging. So at the end of the discussion, you will see it just kind of falls off. And I'm sorry.
There is a world full of injustice, and we can't fight it all.
I think that's why I've had to put on blinders and not go out in the world and cut myself off from some things, because I really do I started wearing my noise canceling more, because if I hear it, I know about it, even if I know they can handle it. I want to insert myself in it because I know about it, and that's exhausting. But I know why I do that now, and so now I protect my senses. Yeah, because before I was like, I'm always in everybody's shit, and then they know I'm good at, and then I can do it, and then I end up taking it over, and then I'm back where I was. I don't do that anymore.
And a lot of autistic people, I've often come off as a know-it-all, but it's not.
Remember our list? Have you watched our video on our
All the things autistic?
It's in episode 7. We were talking about my bossy, know-it-all, weird, precocious.
And you know what? It's not that we know it all; it's that we know a lot about certain things, and we get excited to talk about it. But guess what? And it's not that we have to be right; we have to be correct, and we want you to be correct too, right? Like we don't want to be right,
and that's why that's why we have problems with authority when authority is incorrect. And we don't see authority like that, because no, you're providing bad
authority is the higher truth, not a figure. And that's the other thing with autistics, is sometimes we don't recognize authority. Like they're just another person like us. Like we're equals, right? Like
it's caused some problems in my life.
Yeah, I mean, I feel that way, but in some aspects, of course, I respect and kindness towards everyone, professionalism,
because it probably allows you to do what you do.
Yeah, because I don't think a doctor is intimidating just because they have a medical.
Well, I don't anymore either. I'm talking about when I was younger, when I was a child, and adults would be like, well, they're the adult. Or I'd be like, the teacher said this and that's incorrect. They'd be like, well, it's the teacher. And I'm like, the teacher's wrong.
I used to correct the teachers word pronunciations all the time because I was hyperlexic.
Except for in French, when my Madame McDowell went on vacation, and it would be notes for the sub to just take attendance and make sure the class didn't misbehave, and left instructions for me to teach the class because my French was better than hers.
The hyperlexic thing.
Yeah. Yep. Hyperlexic. I have a knack for if I use it emotionally, I can pick up.
But it's also we come off as pretentious because
I think I got friendships over that. Yeah.
It's interesting. People sometimes we use words because we have brain fog and you can't think of the right word.
I dumb myself down a lot of the time, and so part of my unmasking was I stopped doing that, and then people were very intimidated by my vocabulary or what I would choose to talk about, or
I got involved with Mensa over the last summer, and at first I thought they were probably just a bunch of pretentious jerks, but I went to the conference and it was like a bunch of neurodivergent, And I'd love to do a study at Mensicom to see how many people are hypermobile.
At least 90%.
I would say
I tried. There was this little thing where you could stand up and have the stage for like 5-10 minutes, whatever, and
Can you do this?
yeah, that's what I was doing, and then they got freaked out. They were like, "Oh my God, what are you doing?" But it's
that's
funny.
one I can't do.
But you know what? Do you know how many people came up to me after and was like, "I have chronic pain. I have this. I have that."
And it's not just that, like it's a joke, but our hypermobility is not just joints and it's not just those joints.
Yeah.
To be fair.
I was gonna say in reference to if it's bendy, okay. Yeah, it was just
So I think we should probably wrap it up. Our escaping brains.
yeah.
What did we not touch on that you want to say, or is there like a really important thought here that you want to?
Well, I don't so know. Well,
You're not alone.
I care about you. Even if they don't know, I don't know you, but I care about you, and I want you to have the best life possible. I don't know.
It's really.
I think that there are a lot of people who feel the way I do about helping understand those patients, and
You said something very early on, and maybe before we were even recording, just the fact that there's a consortium of not just the EDS Society, but all these other organizations that are working together to create resources, drive the research, get funding, and fill in the gaps. So to me, just even knowing that that's happening, knowing that this criteria that we're thankful that came about in 2017, but have some criticisms on, and now the pediatric criticisms and all that, like knowing that, oh, we're going to update this again. It's okay. It's still moving. It's still growing. Knowing that there's still people behind the scenes in research, in the sciences that care, advocates at the systemic level.
And there's so much hope. Like I can't even. If you think you've tried everything, haven't.
Yeah,
like you
haven't.
just
in our own lives, just listening.
And I will meet with anybody for free for a consultation. And sometimes my consultations are 5 minutes, and sometimes they're 3 hours. Like I mean, if I don't know, maybe I need better boundaries, but I think that there's people out there that really care about this patient population and will help you, like
if you're setting like a gold standard for that like level of care and ability to provide those resources, and still you're able to make a living and take care of yourself.
I'm trying my best, and that's all I can do, really, right?
That's all.
I mean, like I'm not going to pretend that I'm all healed. I have bad days, but my life is mostly worth living because I have a purpose of helping other people, and I have medical treatments that keep me from drowning. And I just don't see a lot of people drowning, and I think some of the people who are drowning the most think oh, if you're not a doctor, you can't help. Like I don't know. Like I feel like there's such a bias with patients sometimes against people who don't have formal medical degrees. I mean, I have enough freaking degrees to
a lot of the changes that I've made in life didn't come from a medical side.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna leave it at that.
You ladies are lovely, and I appreciate you spreading the word about all this stuff so much. And I hope
I
that
appreciate you. And thank you for starting that group that I found so that I found you.
That's so amazing. Yeah, I thought so. Kismet. I really do think EDS patients have like this little lantern or light that helps us find each other.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why, and not to get, I'm not going to promise this, but like I struggle sometimes. My struggle is why us? Why is this our torch to carry? And I realize because maybe we're meant to do something. Like you have to find meaning in it. And unhealing generational trauma. That's what I don't think. You don't want to do.
We're waiting for those.
I think undoing all of this is really important. We can't do it. Thank you.
I can't have a serious moment.
Never.
I'm
I'm the comedian.
I interrupted the beautiful things you were saying to make
I
you
wasn't even making jokes that time.
I know.
I am
Sorry.
going to make a joke right now. So stay connected, y'all.
Oh God.
That was bad.
was
Sorry.
good.
It was the best joke I could
It was
think
so
of.
good. That was good.
But thank you for coming on the show.
Depending on who's connected to her.
I hope you'll, continue to visit and help out sometimes. Thank you guys for listening because this show wouldn't exist without you engaging. So follow us. I will put links to the socials, those resources that we talked about, the directories and that sort of thing, and maybe even the Facebook groups.
Sure, yeah. I mean, share whatever.
Yeah.
I don't have any secrets. Maybe I should.
I know, right? Maybe I shouldn't trauma dump. I don't know. There's a reason my family is not invited.
And I keep looking at this. That's the camera.
No, it's not.
Hi, I'm sorry.
No.
Is
This
it?
one.
Is it this one?
It's this one.
Okay.
And because that's been muted the whole time, which means the meat will never pick it up.
Okay.
But it's on.
I
It's
know.
recording video.
No, it's not.
But it's not recording video because we have such a camera.
So tomorrow we'll mute. We'll just use this tomorrow. Well, tomorrow, what?
We're gonna have time to prep.
And this is Miss Ella.
And this is Ella. And if the video of this looks shitty, then this is just going to be an audio episode. We'll deal.
It's fine. I'm
Because
sure it
of-
sounds good.
Oh, I'm sure it sounds great.
And if it is just audio and that's all you're hearing, we look darn good today.
I
could be lying.
I even took off my shirt earlier.
I mean, you did.
I did.
You did.
Yeah, that's a whole other episode.
Oh, about the models that have EDS?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that. Have you seen that newest commercial? It's for a perfume. And the chick's like in the dirt walking.
No.
And then she gets on the foot of the car and she's like,
Clearly,
I'm like, okay.
not even trying.
The hilarious thing is they show her off, like, and she's in heels walking on like the deserty sand. And then the next shot's where it's like this up. I'm like, yeah, because you can't film her trying to walk in heels on that sand.
Anyhow, I thank you for maybe pushing a little hard today.
Yeah, thank you.
You too, Shell. I think we pushed
don't know.
Shell more than before.
I think.
Good. Good.
Thank you, Alec, for co-producing. Thank you,
Thank you.
Tiffany,
Thank you,
for
Tiffany.
producing. Thank you, Evelyn, who's not listening.
So she's thinking her people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we'll figure that out after. Have a great day, folks.
Yeah. Bye.
Every time. Bye.
Bye, bitch.
I had a question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can even see. I've been like typing in the chat message so like I can like input things.
No, we have not.
And I
like,
realized I'm like,
nothing
y'all
yet.
probably didn't even.
I haven't
It's
seen a
probably too
goddamn
far.
thing.
Well, it's there. Okay. I'm really sorry if this has already been cut. Like if I didn't catch this part. So forgive me.
Well, you're forgiven, babe.
Advocacy, like what you do
Mhm.
versus what does my insurance call it? Patient care manager.
Yeah. Well, Asian care manager, we actually talked about that, and I think that might have
Okay.
been what got cut off.
Yeah.
So what your insurance does is it makes sure you stay on your asthma medicine, and I mean their care managers through them will very rarely know anything to help you with EDS. They can probably help you understand what the basics of diabetes and stuff like that. I actually said that I did have one care manager once who went outside of her scope of practice to tell me that she thought I had chronic inflammatory response syndrome, and I do. I got tested for it after, but I wouldn't have known at all anything about that. It's very, very, very rare for a care manager to know about anything. But if you get one that happens to have EDS or happens to have the knowledge, it's just like anybody else. It's like rarely do doctors know about it, rarely do nurses, rarely do care managers. You know, it's just a luck of the draw there. Care managers don't advocate. I mean, they do some advocacy, but they're not.
Their client is the insurance company.
Yeah, exactly. Their client is the insurance company, and they're not going to guide you like an advocate would. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
They're there to.
It does. And I'm sorry that you already covered that. I just wanted to make sure it was like in the thing.
It wasn't
a good question because
we on or when you were. And again, I think we should go over some of the parts that we did earlier before, because I think
We had good.
we just have to remember, because we used our spoons. So
We used our spoons and we stirred coffee with our spoons and then we threw them out. I don't know what happened.
I feel like my energy was really good initially,
And then
I got cold.
and I had a glass of wine thinking we were almost done. And
And then I pop out. I'm like, hey, let's keep it going. Woo. Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because the only reason I ask is because I have, for the last few years, been getting mail from my insurance company and phone calls, like to the level where it's very annoying.
harassing.
Sometimes they want to steal your information. Like, I know this sounds weird, but there was a program similar to that used to deny care for some patients, and not in this aspect in Ehlers-Danlos, but you know, some of them are really helpful, and some of them, it depends who's hiring it. Would you have Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield?
Yep.
Yeah, their care management is generally good, but it's like, what do you need help with specifically?
I've been just on my own, so I haven't like solicited that or been like, hey, do you think you have somebody? They've just been like, hey, do you know that we have a case manager that would love to talk to you and help you make doctor's appointments and blah blah blah. And I've been ignoring it because I'm like, I don't particularly trust you, number one, because it's from the insurance company.
Yeah.
And honestly, I was like,
for some reason.
I honestly, like, I can't get doctors that go to medical school to understand the issues that I have. I have very little confidence that someone that probably just started a month ago is going to be more knowledgeable or helpful. And I feel like it's just going to be another thing to tax my energy and time, and the payoff will not be worth it.
Well, but here's the thing. If you tell them, hey, I need a cardiologist, they might book an appointment for you. But will that cardiologist know anything about EDS? No. Will a local support group of patients know? Yes. So, you know, I mean, like, there are logistical things they can do for you that may help get the burden off of you. But, you know, or if, let's say, you need transit to appointments, like I just found out that my insurance offers like an Uber type service that they pay for to get me to Hopkins for appointments. Like, sometimes they will know what your plan will cover for you without you. Like, it's good to have them on call, like sign up for them, see what they do, spend, you know, the 30 minutes talking to them, see what they do. And then, you know, if there's something they can help you with, you know, you can, but like you call them and say, hey, I need compression stockings. What local places near me can I get them at? You have somebody to do that for you. Like little things, you know, they can help with little things.
Okay. I think it's so just all right. Even the thought of having to make the phone call right off the
Yeah.
bat, I'm like, I don't want to make the phone
Why
call.
do we have to do this on the phone?
And listen, that's why a lot of people hire me, because they can't make the phone. They're so paralyzed.
Yeah.
They can't make the phone call. They can't call the doctor to make the appointment. They can't figure out which cardiologist to go to. They just, Megan, pick a cardiologist and make an appointment for me. Okay.
Mhm.
Let me know about your heart issues. Okay, you have a choice between this one or this one. You know, I mean, sometimes my job is as simple as that, and sometimes it's educating a surgeon before, surgery on sutures, and I don't know, like whatever. It just depends.
Okay. That's what I was just curious because I know just from the information that I've been sent, it's like it sounds like it's kind of but not at all like honestly, like what you do would be where like I would that's my because I can handle it and not just me, but both of my daughters are zebras. And my oldest daughter has bilateral clubfoot that has just never, it just keeps coming back, coming back, coming back. So it's not just my health issues. I'm also managing my two other ones. And so there's three of us now that I'm just trying to like get everything together. So that's the only reason I was just like, I don't know that I trust this case manager thing. I'm like, I think more along the lines of what you do, just because I'm so burned out as far as like trying to educate and you just get to that point where I'm just like, I don't care anymore.
It's hard. It's really hard. And I work with families, a lot of advocates do. We'll set up an appointment for all three of you to see a doctor at once, and
They do that?
like there's also
That happens.
Yeah.
I'm in very rural area, so for me,
Where are you?
I am in between like Southwest Virginia. So the next biggest city for me is Roanoke, which is about an hour for me to get there. And like my daughter and it's taken me quite a few years. None of my doctors, I just had a really good rheumatology appointment, but it was like my third one where she was like, oh, let's look into this. And she like an hour and a half, the entire case
But
history.
here's the thing. You have Blue Cross Blue Shield, you're in Virginia. You can see any doctor via telehealth in Virginia. And, I run the Maryland, DC, and Virginia support group. I can give you names of doctors that'll do telehealth with you.
See, this is why I would rather speak with advocates versus the case manager, because I don't think I would get that kind of useful. I'm just trying to see. So like if somebody else has like this option, it's like it's not, you're both two different areas.
Yeah. Like for instance, Karen Kaufman allergy. If you have any signs of potential MCAS, see her. She probably wants to see you in person the first time. She's in Northern Virginia, but then for the rest of your life, you can see her telehealth. And, she'll take care of your MCAS issues and, like things like that. Like, there's mostly at the major medical centers in Virginia. Some of them will require you to come in for a first appointment. Some of them won't.
I think with the telehealth too, just like tonight, like there's been a couple of times where I've been able to get telehealth and then my internet stops working or I have no cell service. And it's so frustrating just being very rural. And I'm from Fort Lauderdale. Like I'm used to like big city life, like, and I lived in Orlando. So this is like a whole new, like,
and the other thing I do for most patients in rural areas, I'll just go to all their appointments with them and educate their doctors. And so they don't have to travel far to appointments. If they have a good doctor around the corner, we just work with that doctor and, cause like I work with a lot of people like in rural Maine, like, oh God, her care is terrible. Middle of nowhere and the deserts. A lot of people, and then, I usually get referred, like a doctor will refer me, like it's worked to me before, like, All my clients are referrals, really.
Yeah.
Or they'll see me, Taylor's Journalist Conference, and
They got me.
people just find me. Or I'll reach out on Facebook when I see a bad story, and I'll be like, "Can I help you?" I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I need better boundaries. Maybe I don't know.
You're okay. It's always good to check in.
You're the only person who gets to decide that, but also asking is.
Yeah.
Just like you reminded me today, I'm in charge of.
Well, thank you for your answer. I appreciate it.
Sure. I'm Megan Vanessa on Facebook if you want to add me, and I'll message me and I'll link you to the group and make sure. I mean, Shelly can
I
get
think
to
I
it.
invited her already to. You might. Did I invite you to that one, Tiffany?
Did
She
you?
was nice.
Which
spinning
one?
in the chair. What's it called?
Maryland, DC, Virginia, Ehlers, Danvers, something.
Related
That one I
conditions.
know I'm actually in. Yes, you did invite me. Thank you
I,
very much.
I invited her to that one a while ago. Because I was like, you're in Virginia.
Shelly gives me all the good hookups for contacts, and then she's like, "Here, you need to join this group. You need to be in here." I'm like, because I don't do it myself. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me
I
see.
mean, I told her she needs to teach me how to do like TikToks and all the.
She's better at TikToks than me.
I have no idea.
I don't have.
I just turned the
any-
camera on.
I do the same thing, but like I know the
See you in 2 weeks. Bye.